And now, a very special edition of The Shannon Knight Show with host Casey Armstrong and Shannon Knight, dedicated to the life and legacy of Kristin-Fay Wilson and her organization, Options for Life.
Shannon Knight.
Hi.
How are you doing? I'm so happy to have you back on. I know this is a very, very amazing month and time for you and for all the people that you help.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful to be on your show again. It's been 4 years to the date.
4 years. I remember it. It was September, of course. The book was coming out, and your story was so awesome that we put it in as number 11, and that was an awesome time. Do you think back at that time sometimes?
I do. It was 9/11. I'd never been to New York. I remember being at your radio station when we were promoting your book, Simply Amazing. Can you believe it? Now we're at 11 years, and the story is just even greater because I've met so many other survivors. Listening to them helps me reflect on my own journey and what I've been through. I feel more blessed than ever before being part of your Simply Amazing book, Chapter 11. I got the nickname 11 now because of that, which I love, very endearing. But they shared in your book how courageously they overcame severe and life-threatening challenges, showing us through their experiences, just like I try to do with my own experience, how it isn't just being a survivor.
A two-time survivor, might I add.
Thank you, stage 3 and stage 4. It was scary the first time, and getting it the second time, boy, let me tell you, you're not living in autopilot anymore. You can relate to that with your own personal story. We've all got something that we've had to push through, and what we do with that is so important.
Yeah.
How we handle it.
If you look back, I was saying in the beginning that thank God that you're celebrating 11 years. When I put it together in that book with the Holocaust survivor and the parents of the autistic kid, your story 4 years ago, and that you're celebrating 11 years of beating lights out, as I call it. I could say it now. They thought that you might not have made it, and that kind of scares the hell out of me. But here you are 11 years later. What does that do to somebody? How do you feel about yourself? I mean, it's just like, it's got to be an incredible feeling,
Sometimes it hits me. Something will trigger me, and I'll remember the conversation with the doctor, and my daughter sitting there diligently recording everything so that she could play it back to me in case I didn't hear something, telling her and me that I've only got 3 to 12 months to live. This was September 2010. He didn't know that I was going to find alternative cancer treatment. There were other options, and I would go to see him in hospital. In his mind and in his profession, that really was the truth to him. Yeah. That's it. Lights out, like you said. Let
me just ask right now. Take me to the present about what's happening with you now and in the last 4 years since that last interview. There's a lot that's going on. And is Shannon helping people? Oh yeah, I guess she is. That's definitely gonna happen. But take me through it. Last 4 years up until now, what are you working on, and what's going on with you?
In the last 4 years, just listening to people trying to raise money in a very creative way because they couldn't have public events. COVID-19 had people on lockdown. They couldn't gather together to hold these big events that would help raise money to save their life. Mm-hmm. I've gotten married.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Really good guy. We're going to be selling our 3rd year of marriage in December.
Nice.
I have 7 grandchildren now. So Grandma's saying hello to Maddox, Emmy, Holly, Hudson, Liliana, Madeline, and Jack. I don't know if you remember, Liliana was born.
She was born on my birthday, right? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I do. This is awesome.
It was really great. So I've been helping through Angels for Shannon, individuals who contact me how to raise money for their own cancer treatment when there's no options left for them.
Can you talk about Kristin-Fay Wilson and about what's going on with that?
Options for Life Foundation's co-founder, Kristen-Fay Wilson, was an extraordinary woman who would have been a perfect interview, by the way, for either of your books. Kristen became inspired to start the Options for Life Foundation through the experience of her own cancer battle. Even though Kristen lost her battle, she's left a beautiful footprint of love that is making an extraordinary impact on the lives of people today going through the same thing she went through. Options for Life Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping individuals who are qualified to receive funds needed for cancer treatment that insurance won't cover.
Right.
They have a hardworking volunteer staff that will not give up on Kristen's dream. She lost her battle in 2012, but I feel so blessed and honored to be among those volunteers. So I got a hold of Options for Life, Mary Fay, her mom, because of someone who was applying for funds to their organization. The woman contacted me to learn more about the treatments I did at CMN Hospital, where I went for the integrative cancer treatment. And this is when I met the extraordinary woman, Mary Fay, from Options for Life Foundation. It was about 5 years ago when we met on the phone. And the story of their daughter, Kristen, touched my heart so deeply because I have a daughter, and I can't help but imagine what that must have been like. Heartbreaking. I was just so amazed to learn more about their organization. I had no idea something like that even existed. An organization where the money they raised was strictly for helping cancer patients and go after the healing treatment that went beyond conventional medicine. So when a doctor says there's nothing else they can do, like they did with me.
Right, but you went out and did something else.
Yeah, they didn't give up. They've got other options, and the perfect name, Options for Life Foundation, because that's exactly what they do. They help raise money for other options that insurance will not cover.
I see. And there's a fundraising event that's coming up in October at the 13th?
Yeah, October 13th, it's a gala red carpet casino event. Everyone is invited. We accept corporate sponsorships, online donations, and of course the purchase of tickets for this event will go to help save lives.
Nice.
We're really excited about it. I'm going to be coming out there from Wyoming. We hope to get a full house. It's been a long time, Casey, since we've done an event. 2019, when they had a golf tournament. And this is just a great time for us to get out again. People are starting to get out and about, and it feels really good to have that freedom to be able to hold an event like this. If this foundation, Options for Life Foundation, Kristin-Fay Wilson was a beautiful, thoughtful, compassionate woman. She was a precious sister to Mary Beth, a beautiful daughter to her wonderful parents, Richie and Mary Fay. When you talk to any of them, they always speak of her compassion and love for her family. To hear of her rare type of cervical cancer and what she went through, I just know that she deserved to live just like I did. So I kind of go through a little bit of celebrating and guilt at the same time. I can't help it. When you hear how beautiful her heart was. Kristen, when she was diagnosed in 2008, like I said, it was a very rare type of cervical cancer. She went through major surgery and some very extensive testing. This is a good reason why this organization is so important. She learned that her cancer was resistant to chemotherapy.
Oh, my God.
Think about that for a minute. When you get your tumor tested against all these different treatments and it's resistant to chemotherapy, the only thing that is covered out here in the United States is chemo, radiation, and surgery and some other drugs, hormone blockers. So even though her surgery was a success and she was deemed cancer-free, she still wanted to find healing therapies to strengthen her immune system. We know about being in remission. We know how it can come back. But unfortunately, her insurance didn't cover any of the treatments that she wanted to do where her body would have actually responded to the treatment. Chemo was out. It was out of the list of treatments she could do.
Wow.
Medical claims were being rejected, bills were adding up, PET and CT scans, other radiology testing were declined by her health insurance. This happens to a lot of people. They're the ones that contact me. Her parents went all around the world to find other healing therapies, even Germany. There wasn't a thing they wouldn't do for Kristen. Kristen always expressed gratitude to her parents for helping her with the medical bills financially, which really hit Kristen's heart. When she was in remission, she got married, celebrated her first wedding anniversary. She never lost sight of those who were less fortunate than her. In fact, her heart just expanded more and more because that's the kind of woman she was. She shared her vision, her mission, of what she wanted, her dream for Options for Life Foundation. And it was her desire to help others who were less fortunate than herself. Think about that. I've talked to a lot of people, Casey, where they're sick, whether it's cancer or something else, and it's not wrong to be very self-involved during that time. You're hurting, you don't feel well. Kristen was different. It lit a fire in her heart. One day, she sat around the kitchen table with her family and planted that seed. When she shared with her family that she wanted to start Options for Life Foundation so that she could help those who were less fortunate financially, to be able to get these treatments that our health insurance doesn't cover, it seems like an enormous undertaking to the family, but nothing deterred her from her mission.
Wow.
Even 6 months later, when she was diagnosed again with a cancer recurrence and had to fight for her life again, and it only emboldened her more to undertake the task of starting the Options for Life Foundation, which reminds me so much of why she would be a perfect guest on.
I was just thinking, Shannon, like, why wasn't a chapter of it would be awesome? This woman sounds like she should have a series of books. I guess I'm so fond of her because she sounds a lot like someone I know that I'm kind of close with. Just that feeling of helping the other people, even when you are up against some challenges. And that's who you are. I can see why you identify with her.
I did, and it's funny because we've talked more. Her mom and I have talked so much more as we get closer to this fundraising event, and there are so many parallels, even a special place on the beach that Kristen went to do some deep thinking, and
Really?
her family was, looking for. It was Paradise Cove in Malibu, and I wrote about that in my book, Grateful Heart, Casey.
Okay.
I did the same thing. Same exact beach.
No way.
When I was told on September 9th that it was over for me and I had 3 to 12 months to live, I took a walk and had a private conversation with God, and I hear how passionate Kristen was, and I can't help but be taken back to that time where I felt the same way. Like, don't take my life. Let me stay. Let me help other women and men who want to fight for their life and not give up. And this is the essence of Kristen's character.
Wow.
And at such a young age, in her 20s.
Oh, my God. That's
She really
incredible.
is an angel. Heaven has truly one of its brightest and most beautiful angels. I have no doubt everyone that is on the board of directors who's carrying this mission through can still feel her passion and her desire for this to be a huge success. Sadly, Kristen lost her battle with cancer in 2012 due to unforeseen complications, not the actual cancer, which happens a lot. But still, even though Kristen did not live to see the results of her vision, she clearly laid out all the groundwork for the foundation. And she made sure her loved ones knew what her dream was to help others that were facing cancer.
Kristen sounds amazing.
It's like she's in action today. Her heart and passion remain in the hearts of all of us. Their whole board of directors, they knew her mission, and therefore she's accomplished her dream long after she's passed.
Wow.
On her website, the Options for Life Foundation website, it's dedicated to Kristin-Fay Wilson, whose kindness, generosity, bravery, and devotion will never be forgotten. It's right on the top of their website.
Shannon, have you been to that place at the beach that she used to go to in Malibu?
It's so crazy that you asked me that because I want to go there and take a picture of my book on that spot.
Yeah. You have helped so many people that have gone down this road unwillingly to hook up with a soul. I know now that she passed in 2012, but I guess I'm in my old age, I'm finding something about energy, Kristen's still around here, and there's a bond that you guys have, and Kristen is still affecting so many people. Maybe we can't talk to her, or I can't meet her or interview her, but I got a feeling she's still around.
Something else, when you interviewed me in 2018, my dad was fighting cancer at the time. He was stage 4, and he didn't want anyone to know, so it was really hard for me to be on your show.
Oh, my God.
When we were talking about survivors and not mention my dad. 8 months later, he passed away and lost his battle May 31st of 2019, that following year.
Wow.
the reason I brought up my dad is his name is Robert DeConti, and I can say his name now. He taught at Chaminade in West Hills, California, and there's a connection with Mary Faye and her daughter going to that school and having him as her teacher.
No way. Wow.
We only just found that out.
That is crazy.
So when you talk about you're getting old and you think there's some energy and a connection, we're wondering the same thing. Like, how did we all connect? We were going through old emails and trying to figure this all out. Her daughter and my daughter doing some reflective thinking on the same exact beach, looking at the same exact rock that's known there. I mean, pick a spot, pick a rock, Casey, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Pick a school, pick a teacher. These coincidences, what are they?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
So I feel the connection. Like you said, I feel I'm always trying to be respectful of people who have lost loved ones to cancer, their specialness of their situation. It's so hard to talk to people who have lost a loved one because it's a territory that you tread very softly.
Right, yeah.
But so many times I've wanted to say, I can relate, or I feel like she's guiding us or helping us. There's just this respect and honor that I have where I've kept my mouth shut over the years.
That's just the respectful person that you are. Like, I know what you're talking about, not as far as cancer goes, but I've been involved since I lost my best friend to suicide not too long ago. So I've been doing these walks. I did this out of the darkness in the city, and I went by myself. I didn't think I could walk 17 miles, but for autumn, yeah, it felt right. And then when you talk to the people, I know what you mean. You want to be respectful, and you don't want to say or think that you might upset somebody, but they're all going through what you are. And Shannon Knight, who has been through this, I don't think there's anything that you could say that would ever upset anyone, because everything you do is from your heart, and all you're doing is trying to help. I know that. Maybe I'm biased because I'm your friend, but that's just who you are, buddy.
And I'll always be this way. I believe that this has been going on anyway. When I had stage 3, when I had stage 4, it doesn't mean that I feel that I'm more deserving of a miracle than the next person. That's not true. I just think that we each have our own calling, and we have our own time of when we're going to meet our Maker. And the thing that I've gotten most out of this whole journey of cancer is make the best of each day, give the most, strive to be better than who you were the day before, and forgive quicker, and make your life purposeful. Make a difference. I think of my grandkids, and I think of my son and my daughter. I never would have done the things that I'm doing now if I had not had a diagnosis of cancer. There would be no Angels for Shannon. I did the same thing. I told my girlfriends that when I found out I was going to die. Angels for Shannon was to raise money for me, but at the time I said, when I die, you've got to keep Angels for Shannon going so that you can teach people how to replicate what you've done to raise money, and that gives them a chance. And then it ended up, I didn't die, and now I'm helping people for however long I have an opportunity to, till it's my time to go home.
Oh, I know that's true. Shannon, can I ask you, how did you first get involved with Kristen's story and with Options for Life?
A woman contacted me who was filling out the online application that they've got. She was interested in going to the same CMN hospital facility I went to for cancer treatment. Somehow, Mary and I connected just to talk about the hospital I went to, because they had a board of directors vote which is the best candidate for this treatment. Mm-hmm. They have to be transparent about their finances and be willing to share that they really do need the money. money because there are a lot of people out there that want the money. Mary and I just talked. I really liked hearing her talk about her daughter. Then on my birthday, I would donate. On Facebook, you get to pick an organization. They're an official 501c3 nonprofit organization, which means it's a tax deduction. You can write it off. So anyone who goes there to buy a dinner ticket for the gala that's coming up on the 13th, by the way, it's at North Ranch Country Club, 4761 Valley Spring Drive in Westlake Village, California, and you can call 818-222-7738 if they want to reserve tickets or become a sponsor.
Also, guys, you can go to, I'm going to spell it for you. It's the OFLFOUNDATION.org or call 818-222-7738. All tickets and donations, they're all tax deductible. The event, again, is Thursday, October 13th. 7 o'clock to 11. And this sounds really cool. I mean, it's called the Options for Life Foundation Annual Gala Casino Night.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
It's a tournament. There'll be a tournament, Texas Hold'em.
Oh, dear.
Raffle prizes, silent auction, live band, dinner, open bar, music. It'll be a really good time. I'm looking forward to it.
It sounds like fun. So anybody can go?
Anyone can go. All they have to do is go to the website. All the packages are on the sponsorship event page. They can pick the gala dinner. They can pick the gala dinner with poker or some of the sponsorship packages, and they can just donate to help with the prizes for the raffle.
Cool. And again, that website, it's Options for Life, so it's OFLFoundation.org. So people can go and they can just buy a ticket to attend. They can make donations. What else can they do, Shannon?
They can contact us to find out how they can volunteer or be part of an event. If they go to the sponsor page and look at the list of sponsors, when you become a sponsor, you're on the website. We're so grateful, and you're going to be listed on there. It's a very impressive list.
Well, anything to do with you and Kristen and what you guys are trying to do and how you're helping other people. I am so lucky just to having this conversation with you. And it's such a great foundation people should be a part of, and I hope everyone goes. It sounds like a lot of fun, too.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. I told Mary, people want to get out and have fun again. Look what we've just gone through, this whole lockdown, and not being able to have these fundraising events. I think people are ready to take out that little black dress and high heels and put on a sports jacket and go fun with a group of people for a very good cause.
Definitely. Hey, Shannon, I wanted to ask you, how is your coaching going? Because if anyone can help somebody, I would believe that you would be more than accredited from going to hell and back. If someone can have a coach like you, I think they're in good hands. Tell me about the coaching. How's it going?
I will. It's fine-tuned. When I first started out, it was strictly just about dealing with past trauma that was left unresolved. Mm-hmm. And what I've done since then, when people go to my website, ShannonKnight.com, and click on coaching, I've developed a heart chart. And this heart chart is where you go back into time when your first trauma. I had a lot of trauma in my life.
Yeah.
So you go back, and people like to measure. They want measurable results, whether it's a PET scan, your blood sugar. We want a number. I've developed a way to measure where our faith was at, where our self-compassion was, where our fear was, where our faith was, and the final one is our soul purpose. And when you go there, you can see an example of my heart chart. In my younger years, I was kind of living on autopilot. A lot of people that are doing this heart chart, they're realizing they've come a lot further than they realize. The self-compassion component of our emotional healing, learning what that is my greatest focus, because we're so hard on ourselves as we get older. We beat ourselves up emotionally. The worst critic in our life is in our own head.
Oh, yeah.
That's my focus with my life coaching, is giving tools, assignments, worksheets, exercise, even a book with 40 days of activities so that they can actually measure their results and see how much self-compassion they were lacking, how much more they were feeding their fear instead of feeding their faith, and how that all worked together in play with finding out what your soul purpose is in life. I didn't find out what my soul purpose was till I dropped the critic, kicked her out of my head, till I would start feeding my faith, and all of it started to shift. People are learning that it's actually something intentional. You can't be self-compassionate on autopilot. We tend to be more critical. There's people that we have pushed out of our lives because they're too critical or verbally abusive. When they have to write down their thoughts in their own head and start recognizing their own self-talk, it's pretty extraordinary how much they didn't realize they were lacking in self-compassion. And that self-awareness is the greatest reward in my coaching, is to watch that unfold with each of my clients.
Wow. Tell people again how to get a hold of you and how that process starts. Do you do like a consultation or something? You talk on the phone, see if you're a fit?
Yeah, I have a website, ShannonKnight.com. And when you go there, you can click on the coaching. I do retreats. That's the best way. It's even got my phone number.
Okay. Don't forget about the book either. Shannon is the best-selling author of Grateful Heart, Memoirs of a Cancer Survivor. We'll be talking again, Shannon, but I want people to know that it's going to be 7 o'clock, that specific time, Thursday, October 13th, North Ranch Country Club, 4761 Valley Spring Drive in Westlake Village, California. Shannon, you're just a great guest and can't wait to talk to you more about this. You know, I'm even thinking about even coming out there for this. I'm in New York. Sounds like such a great opportunity. This foundation is amazing.
I would love to see you there. I think that everybody else would too. I would love to have you hosting it on your radio show. But, you know, it is a long way.
Yeah, it is. But for the listeners, you can count on Shannon coming back here. We'll see if we can get some more people from the foundation with Shannon to come on to talk about this great event and how you guys can get to go and support and donate and just be a part of something bigger than us. And last question I want to ask you, if there's something that you could say to Kristin-Fay Wilson, if she was here and you could speak to her and say something, what would it be?
First of all, I got goosebumps and tears. I would tell her thank you for sharing her dream and her vision and her mission while she was sick. There are so many people I've spoken to who feel that because they're sick, that their life has no meaning or value or purpose. And on the contrary, she has proven that to be the exact opposite. I thank you, Kristen, for sharing your dream and your vision when you were going through your own turmoil and facing fear. You still shined a light. You still shared your dream. And because of that, you're alive through all of us in your mission as we all keep that promise and make it come true for you.
This has been a very special edition of The Shannon Knight Show with host Casey Armstrong and Shannon Knight, dedicated to the life and legacy of Kristin-Fay Wilson and her organization, Options for Life.
I took my love, took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children reflection in the snow-covered hills, where the landslide will bring it down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring it down.